country. By the way, you're welcome. Happy New Month from me and the entire crew to you. Thank you for continuously watching us. Thank you for watching us from January till now. And we're really hoping that we get through the end of the year with you. You're welcome to the show. I am Serwaa Amihere, as always. This morning, we'll be bringing you our quote of the day. We'll bring you the word of the day, what we have been bringing you since the beginning of the week. We'll bring you the video of the day. We'll tell you what's on the papers. Probably do some court reporting stories. And then we will do what's on Inside Out. And you know that on Fridays, we don't talk. We allow you to call and share your thoughts on the many things happening in the country with us. I know that you've been following the news. You know what happened in the Supreme Court this week. The courts basically threw out the Speaker's application. We'll be talking about that as well. The sad death of Madam Amihere and its repercussions, on our elections and the ballot papers. And we know now that the Electoral Commission says they have halted the printing of ballot papers pending a release or a statement from the camp of Amihere's party and many other things. And if you've been following the campaign trail as well, you know that there's been some exchange, of words between the two main contenders in this year's elections, John Dramani Mahama and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, saying all sorts. John Mahama has been speaking. Many say that what he said is insulting. People say that it's not insulting, and that if you've been following politics, especially American politics, it's not an insult. But yeah, we'll leave that to you to judge. So we'd like to hear from you on what your thoughts are. My guests will join me, journalists, of course, on Fridays. We'll hear from them, try to have a very non-partisan conversation. And then we have other conversations coming up as well. If today is your birthday, happy birthday to you. If you know anyone who is celebrating their birthday, happy birthday to them as well. But you know what the good thing is? You can actually send the birthday wishes alongside their photos, and we'll wish them live on air for you. You can tweet at me using the hashtag GHToday. You can tweet at me personally at Serwaa Amihere. Or you can tweet at GHOne Television. We're streaming on Facebook, we're streaming on X, and we're streaming on YouTube. You're welcome to the show. Once again, I am Serwaa Amihere. Let's begin with our quote of the day. And today's quote of the day is by GHOne, and he says, "Don't worry about failure. You only have to be right once." Don't worry about failure. All you have to do is to strive to be right at least once, and a lot of things will just fall in place, align for you. Okay? And let's bring you the video of the day. Of course, you all know that it's my favorite part of the show. I hope that you enjoy that one by Pato Ranking there and DJ Mike Smith. Okay, it's now time for Inside Out. On Inside Out this morning, and like every Friday, you know that we open the phone lines and let you share your thoughts with us. I told you earlier, quite a number of things have been happening this week. The very latest, starting from the campaign trail, because we have some 36 days to election 2024. Let's look at what has been happening in the various camps of the two main contenders getting into these elections. Let's start with John Dramani Mahama, because he has been speaking. Of course, he speaks every day, but there's this particular speech that he gave, for which many are saying it's an insult to Dr. Bawumia. Let's listen.
We used to learn what they call nursery rhymes, and that one you just have to learn it by heart. Even when you are sleeping, you should be able to repeat it. So if you remember, ba ba black sheep, have you any wool? Then we had Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. Those nursery rhymes. I woke up this morning and I saw 50 questions to me. It looks like our vice president has just learned those things in the 50 questions the way we used to learn ba ba black sheep, Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall. Because I asked you 5 simple questions on the economy. That's all. Simple questions that Ghanaians want you to answer. You go and respond with how many compost plants, how many compost plants did you build, how many this did you build. That is not what the issue is in Ghana today. Let me take you down memory lane. In 1992, there was an election in America. It was between Bill Clinton and George Bush Sr. At that time, the American economy was in recession, the way the Ghanaian economy is in crisis today. And people were talking about immigration, talking about all kinds of useless things. You know what the Clinton people said? It is about the economy, stupid. Today, I'm repeating those words. This election is about the economy, stupid. It's not about all those other useless things about who built how many compost plants. Answer the 5 simple questions.
Right, so that was John Dramani Mahama there. Had a few words for Dr. Bawumia. Well, Dr. Bawumia has been speaking as well. Let's listen.
Mibisa umampenyi dada. Mesi umampenyi dada. Chireyen adie bako. Inshishe bako ode ababuwa Ghana for. Dumso ana confirm. Dumso ana confirm. Bako. Wait me. No say oh no. Why you massing here? Let me see. Uji who this? Why you massing here? Brian ye debate 1-on-1, mano a mano. Omba, we Johnny, Osro, we Johnny to say Kukon kitty. We Johnny, Osro, Choboy. Me ubisami say. Minchre ishishare midiaba mibeye vice president mechre ishishare 33 different policies.
Say attendidie no ashe ase enyoza attendidie no ashe ase Asante Fuona, Omubese, Casatente and Toponko. Enyasa, Casatente and Toponko. Now, the Amidibes also say, Attendidie and Toponko. Attendidie and Toponko. And yes, ultimately, the attempts are Enkosi who will see election. Who will see? The entire NPP, Yabeti couldn't know. Ejuma, and yet Didio, Ejuma, Oba, and Baba Abeshe University at Air Coso, Ahafuha, Abeshe Hospital, IAC, President Akufuado Aka, yet the bill Air Co, Yabayam a district in on its own. And yes, a human acquire AstroTech now, they are Bobia Diaba, Mejumanti, Namoba to Abama, yes, yeah, NPP, yeah, 2016, yeah, share Ghana for Bo, yeah, country Ghana for say. Obutu Abano Maya, yet the free senior high school education, Ghana. Yekayano, Omampini Dada Kanjre, say, Yedada Ghana for, I say, a 419 promise, Embasso is not possible. And I say, it is possible. I dream now to me who said a bit here, but 2017, I could see me if you were Jimmy, you're the free SHS about Ghana, Baku, 5.7 million children across senior high school. Free.
So that is Dr. Baumia there also. Talking about his "It's a Possible" slogan and talking about the fact that the insults have started. Well, I don't know what you think. I'm going to leave you to be the judge. Do you find that comments, that statement by John Dramani Mahama insulting or as an insult? I don't know. I personally don't find it as an insult. But then I'm not a politician. And maybe because it wasn't said to me, I don't find it insulting, I must say. Looking at the context in which it was said. But you're entitled to form your own opinion, and I've opened the phone lines. I want to hear from you. It has started. Also, I want to find out from you if you'll be voting come December 7. It is actually, not an option if you are eligible to vote, because you have a civic responsibility to vote if you are eligible to vote. And it's 37 days away. So please, 36, 37, just around that area, around that figure. I'd like to hear from you. Please call me and share your thoughts with me. It doesn't necessarily have to be about these issues. It can be about anything as long as it has to do with the country, Ghana. I have my first call on the line. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Madam Serwaa.
Yes, thank you so much for calling. Tell us your name and where you're calling from, and let's hear you.
My name is Awal, calling from the Bimbla constituency.
Yes, Awal, let's hear you.
Thank you very much for the opportunity given. First, I want to comment on the Supreme Court. What is going in the Supreme Court?
Please go ahead.
I think our judiciary has shattered what people think they have to do for us, because we know the Supreme Court or the court our last resort when justice is done to us. But the level of trust in the judiciary is at lowest, let's put it that way. I think when the issue that has the registration, when the people they said that you can use the birth cert to register, went to the Supreme Court. Some of us thought that, since the birth cert was what gave birth to the Ghana card, definitely the Supreme Court couldn't have done anything about it, and they would have maintained that yes, you can use your birth cert in registration. But to our surprise, the Supreme Court told us that the document that gave birth to the the Ghana card couldn't be a source for registration. And from that day, I lost faith in the judiciary. And what is going on too, we know that the NPP used the same thing in the last administration in sacking their own. It's not that the NDC did that or whosoever did that. So if the speaker came and got to know that, oh, this is when I fully, and he's a lawyer too. He's a lawyer too. I think maybe he might have been practicing before the Chief Justice. Maybe that may be true. So he's a lawyer too. He's somebody who has read and whether the reason why when the issue when he said he's going to consult. He's a lawyer. He went and consulted and got to know, those who drafted the constitution had something in mind. And if you are somebody who came and you have political party represented, so if the NDC or the NPP voted for you, it means that they had no trust in other political parties. That's the reason why they voted for you. So if you go there and decide that, oh, because of in the next parliament or whatsoever you are going to go and in another party, then they should start packing you. That means the intention alone. You should start by that means they didn't send you that to go and represent the other political party. So you should be packing. They should pack. That's the reason why the constitution said when you go to another party, when you leave your party to another party, immediately you have an intention of contesting on another. That means you don't belong to the party originally that brought you there to parliament. So I think the judiciary is not doing us any good, and because of the faith or the confidence that people had for the judiciary is lower. And if they don't do something very quick about it, people will resort to their own way in resolving issues. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you too. I'm grateful that you called. I truly appreciate it. We have another call on the line. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, thank you very much for calling. Tell us your name, where you're calling from, and let's hear you.
All right, my name is Gordon.
Sorry?
My name is Gordon calling from Tamale.
Gordon, let's hear you.
Yeah, Dr. Bomia is calling for a debate. I just want to ask him a question. In 2012, President Mahama has been himself for a debate, right? Yes, which Nana participated. In 2016, President Mahama called them. Bomia, that same Bomia today, who is calling for the debate, told President Mahama to debate the economy. What has changed today? Why is he crying for debate? And Nana too is going around throwing doubts. What is his achievement as the president? If not so, what? So we have to make things clear. Mahama has no question. Mahama has no level. In fact, when we are talking of presidents in this republic, Nana Bomia's administration shouldn't be included. It shouldn't be included because they are kept it in a mess. This is not economy. This is not the economy they inherit. And they have no right to talk of class, no level, especially when it comes to the economy. That is why Bomia is running away from the economy to digitalization. They can't even talk anything about the economy again. All you want is now digital. What? Now, he's saying that he has implemented 33 policies. 33 policies, so, Madam Serwaa, that cannot transform Ghana's economy. You can imagine, this is the head of the economic management. So you see, these people, we can't take them serious. We can't just take MPP serious. So I think this is the right opportunity for us to kick them out of government and bring the transformation Mahama to come and turn things around for us. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the call, Gordon. And we'll take our last caller before we bring you court today. Hello? Hello? Hello, good morning.
Good morning, how are you?
Yes, thank you so much for calling. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, my name is Selassie.
Okay, can you please speak a bit louder?
I'm Selassie.
Selassie. Thank you for calling, Selassie. Let's hear you.
I'm calling from Spain.
All right, Selassie.
Please, what is going on in our judiciary? it seems everybody is quiet about it. But the danger is looming. You're a law student. Can you tell me any case against the EC that the EC has lost in this country under this NPP government? Can you tell me any case that the NPP has taken to court and that lost under this government? Gone are the days when you are either appointed as a Supreme Court judge or an appeals court judge or a High Court judge. You tell us about which government change in government, you tell it. But today I can tell you, there are people in the Supreme Court who are not feeling comfortable if there is a change in government. People in the appeals court, I'm telling you on authority, not comfortable. If there is today there is a change in government, why should it be so? Because they are not looking at law. They are not. They are thinking about conscience. They are doing is politics. All that they are doing is politics. And to teach NDC lessons, stop this fine politics. But dealing with mafias and criminals, when you come, deal with such people as mafias and criminals as well. That's what I want to say this morning.
Thank you very much, Selassie. We appreciate the call, and that'll be it for the Inside Out segment. We really appreciate all of you for calling. Unfortunately, that's all time would allow. But that's it for Inside Outs. This is GH Today. I am Serwaa Amihere. It's time for court today, and of course I'm joined on the studio by our in-house lawyer, Mutalai Nusa, soon to be lawyer. Morning, you're welcome.
How soon? Good morning.
Soon and very
it's
soon.
Relative.
Yes,
soon and yeah,
soon. It will come very soon. Trust me. Anyway, how have you been, Captain?
It's been great. How about you? We missed you for virtually throughout the whole week. First 4 days you've been missed.
Yesterday I was on TV.
Yes, yeah, you were on TV yesterday.
Okay,
and how is the grounds
Central.
like? Some few days election. How is the grounds? We saw the reaction. We saw the comments. It's not been easy
at all. You know, it's 36 days to the elections, right? And I like to believe that people have already made up their minds.
Their minds, okay.
I don't know if there's any drastic thing that will happen. Maybe if there's a change, you know, the exchange rate drops further or something. I don't believe in neutrals. I just think that there are people who haven't made up their minds.
Yes, okay.
You know, whether to vote or not because of one issue or the other, maybe because they're upset. But I don't really think they're neutrals.
Well,
at the end of the day, when we all vote, we vote for somebody. There's nobody on the ballot paper that has a neutral face on it.
Yesterday, I was having an argument with somebody in relation to that. I said, nobody is neutral.
No.
You would want to stay neutral, but when you get to the polling station, you get to the election center, definitely you have a choice to make. You have somebody, so you can never be neutral.
Captain, they are not neutral. Some people just don't like to talk about politics.
Of course.
You know, but it doesn't make them neutral. And I don't even think that you should strive to be neutral. You should strive to be objective.
Absolutely.
You know, you can support a political party. Just be fair and objective in your thinking and your analysis and stuff. And that's what you should push for, and not neutrality. In the words of my friend Austin, he says that neutrality is for cowards.
Yeah,
be objective. And you say me, I'm not. I don't like party A or party, but you vote, right? Like I'll vote as well.
Make a decision.
Yes.
Definitely.
Anyway, so it's time for court today.
Start with the LGBTQ+.
All right, so Mutala, what do you have for us?
Yes, so yesterday we told you about the fact that the LGBT plus cases, Richard Sky and Amanda Odoy, were coming up at the Supreme Court, and we anticipated a very long and a very, in fact, long constitution. But unfortunately, yesterday the cases were called, although, but it was just for some interlocutory matters. You notice that one of the contentions, one of the issues that we have spoken about so many times is how this particular case is not yet ready for the Supreme Court to hear. Honorable Sam George and the team stormed the street, protested against the judiciary for the delay. And the point that they made was that the case is not ready because the parties themselves have not filed their statement of case and even to agree on a joint memorandum of issues and all that. So we noticed that when the legal year began, the speaker, through his lawyers, Thaddeus Sory, went to the Supreme Court for extension of time. It was granted. Yesterday, the Attorney General was at the Supreme Court also seeking extension of time to file their statement of case. And yesterday, a single judge, Justice Yao Dakwasari, was the only person who sat. Both cases were called, and the Attorney General's request for time to be able to file statement of out of time was granted after lawyers of the other parties did not oppose. But one thing came up: the financial physical analysis that has been the bone of contention. According to the AG's office, it is the reason they have not filed, or they have delayed in filing their statement, because they wanted to get that document to know what to say. But they said it is what it is. They haven't had that opportunity to do it. So yesterday, the court gave the AG 7 days to file their statement of case in relation to them. And the 7 days start from when the order was given, so yesterday. But Pakwesi Abedu, who is counsel for Richard Sky, has this to say immediately after the court sitting.
This is a private member bill, and it can never be admitted by the speaker without a financial impact analysis report, so that the government will know the amount of money involved in accepting that bill. You see, and this is where our challenge has been right from the onset, that the speaker made an irregular admission because that particular report was not attached to the bill. And over 6 months along the line in court, it has been, we are bringing it, and yet it has not reached. Between the court, between Parliament and here, that document has not reached. It takes 10 minutes to drive from here to Parliament, and yet that document has not reached.
So that is Pakwesi Abedu, counsel for Richard Sky, wondering why that particular report has not gotten to the court, looking at the distance between Parliament and the Supreme Court. But Serwaa, what's your take on a will? Do you believe in will? Do you have one?
Well, with what I know about wills, I am a very strong advocate for wills,
okay.
Right? And I think that people need a lot of education, you know, on why they need to put their wills together. And I know when you talk about wills, people keep saying that, oh, I don't have much. I don't have, you know, many houses, so I do not probably
and
need
people
a
think
will.
when you make a will, you are going to die.
No, exactly. That's also another point, which is absolutely not the case. You know, you can update your will all the time, every single time, anytime you actually wish. You are better off having a will. And it doesn't mean that you're going to die. Don't let anybody tell you that you're going to die. You know,
just but putting your property in proper perspective.
Exactly. Yes. Even though we must state that, you know, the laws are such that if you do not have a will and you die, it doesn't mean that, you know, your property will end up in the wrong hands, because there are laws protecting your wife and your kids and all that. But honestly, it's in your best interest.
Yes, to get something documented. Yes. Some that pass through the court and you see people sealing. But normally it used to be in that brown envelope, and they are sealing it with very interesting.
Yeah, I think that everybody. Yes. I hope that you have a will.
Not yet. Not yet.
Yes, okay.
Not yet.
Well, I have my lawyers on standby to
putting together.
Look, even if you have one car.
Yes, just make sure that.
Or just one house. Put it in a will.
But how well
it's just a document.
How
it's
well
just a
do you
paper.
trust people that you entrust to ensure that your will goes to the right hands? How well would you trust people like that? Because definitely somebody will be there and say, when so and so was in existence or was living, this and this and this and what he said without any influence.
Please ask the question
I'm asking,
again.
so definitely somebody must there to witness that yes, you made this will and sign ABC.
Yes,
when it's time for sharing the will, you are not available. How well do you trust people who are supposed to be the referees that you appointed?
Oh, but Mutala, I mean, with all you know about the courts and the law, the laws govern these things. If you have a lawyer, you know, who will supervise this, yes, you're supposed to have two people to attest to the will and all that. It shouldn't be a problem because, once again, there are laws. Don't think that somebody will entrust you with their property and you can just run away and do whatever you want to do with it. And you also actually know that if someone makes you attest to a will, I mean, before you are able to share the property, as you know, you actually need letters of administration. Absolutely. And these are things you get from the courts. You can't just be sharing the things at your will, because when you do, it's an offense and it's punishable by law, for which you could actually go to jail. You could go to prison for dealing with someone's property when you have not been asked to deal with it, you know. So I don't think that should be a problem.
Yeah, so there's a case in point that we are discussing, and a lawyer is in court now.
Oh, yeah,
you remember that case? A lawyer is in court with some siblings, and it has gotten to a stage where the case is taking an interesting turn. So the complainant in the matter, Idris Salia, has filed a petition at the Office of the Attorney General because how the police is handling the issue. The case is at the Achimota Circuit Court. 5 people were on the charge sheet, including the lawyer, a chief, and 3 siblings. What has become later is that at the last court sitting, there was an update that the police want to drop the siblings. So the question is, how could the lawyer act alone without, and siblings who are supposed to know their father's will? It turned out that certain underhand dealings went allegedly, and then the matter is in court. So the complainant in the matter, who is also a sibling to some of the people who were accused, went to the Office of the Attorney General to file a petition. And let's listen to him immediately after he filed a petition at the AG's office.
But I felt like I didn't agree to it, or I wasn't in line with that decision, because I've always trusted the prosecution or the legal department of a police department. So for them to sign off the docket and move to court for a couple of months and later think that they have to make such changes, it never sat well with me. Especially when you look at the same parties went to take a probate, executed the will, took a probate, and then at the blind side of me and my other siblings and the whole family, including 2 surviving spouses. And then when we challenged the source of they getting the probate, they couldn't even respond. They just totally agreed and surrendered the probate back to the court on 22nd of May, 2023. So for you to sign an affidavit and take a probate, and the moment I come out with my lawyers or attorneys to challenge it, you just surrendered it. So that means they know, all those 5, the A1 to A5 know that they obtained a probate certificate in a due fair manner. So I don't know why prosecution couldn't look at that, that notion of affidavit and know that at least they are part of the conspiracy. As far as the conspiracy, I feel like definitely they are part of it.
We apologize, for the sound quality there. We apologize greatly for that.
So that is the complainant.
Okay.
It's also a sibling to some of the people who were 3 siblings who were part of these on the charge sheet. And the police is saying that the siblings should be taken out of the matter. And you are asking, then how did the lawyer get this information and all that? So he sent a petition to the Office of the Attorney General for the AG to call for the docket to look at what has happened and probably if there could be a revision on that. So this case, in the coming days, will give you more updates in relation to that. So the person that we spoke to is Idris Salia, who is the complainant in this very matter. So that's all we'll be having for you in relation to court today.
Yes. Thank you very much. We'll see you, God willing, Monday.
Absolutely. Monday we'll be telling you about an election manual launched by the Judicial Service, the 5th edition. In fact, it came in 3 volumes. We'll tell you all about it and the parties who are going for the 2024 election, both parliamentary and presidential. If you want to, if there's a dispute and you want to go to the court, you need to read that book and ensure that you understand, you know where to start from, where to go. And
as a lawyer,
yes,
or
as a lawyer and as a party, yes,
as
you should
party,
absolutely. So if you go, the CJ is saying that if you go to a wrong forum, the chances are that you may have a good case, but your case will be thrown out. So Monday,
but you know, I think that we have tried on this show to give some basic education on how to go about it. If it's a parliamentary case, it starts from the High Court and it ends at the Court of Appeal. It doesn't get to the Supreme Court because the Supreme Court doesn't have jurisdiction. If it's a presidential election, the Supreme Court is the only court that has original and exclusive jurisdiction to deal with the case. This shouldn't be so difficult to
So the
handle.
note from the previous disputes cases, so
that people have been confused about
people have
the
been confused, and in fact, there are a lot of things that happen. For instance, the case will have to travel beyond a certain number of days. These books that they have come up, they'll spell out when a complainant will file processes, when the respondent will have to complete time frame, complete guideline to deal with those issues. So Monday will bring you all the ins and outs of that particular launch that was performed by the Chief Justice yesterday.
Okay, thank you very much, Murtala Inusa. He's our court correspondent, and that's it for court today. But I'm going to stay with Murtala to do the newspapers with him. That's it for court today. You are welcome back to the show. It's time for the newspapers. We'll begin with Daily Graphic. And okay, so the Daily Graphic, new SHS curriculum starts and 169 agro factories ready under 1D, 1F. This is according to the president. Okay, basically, yeah. Okay, Chief Justice launches manual on election adjudication, and that's what Murtala was just talking about. Anti-gay bill suit speaker's financial impact assessment sparks controversy in court. Okay, let's move on.
So we have the Daily Guide newspaper. It said you have in the front page, anti-LGBT bill, AG files defense in 7 days. We'll talk to you about on court today a short while ago. GMX set to transform Ghanaian music streaming. And then the banner headline says 85% Ghanaians want free senior high school maintained, Afrobarometer report. Also on the front page you have stay off task force Achim Kutuku State. Then we also have Bawumia will win 2024 election Ahafo chief. There's a picture of Dr. Bawumia and the chief interact.
You know, before we move on to the next paper, right? Every time I see chiefs endorsing political parties and their candidates, then the case of Elom Goni versus the Attorney General comes to mind, and you wonder, like, this is a proper defying of the court, right?
Yes.
Because chiefs are not supposed to engage in active politics. This is active politics.
Yeah, it is. Interestingly, yeah, it is, because you are endorsing. Right. The point is that you can make all the suggestions, but once you are endorsing the particular candidate, it's an active politics. But of course, we have the one chief like Bawumia is there. You will be surprised to see when Mahama get there, the kind of message that the chiefs will give him. Virtually the same thing. So
yeah, but that is a problem, because chiefs are not supposed to, because there's no law that allows chiefs to endorse these politicians, right?
It's very interesting.
The laws are there. It is the.
We are not. They are only in books.
Exactly.
Yeah, they are only in books in terms of practical aspect of it.
They are only in books.
Yes.
They are only in books. Anyway, that's it for the daily guide. Let's move on very quickly to the daily dispatch. You have the daily dispatch.
Yeah, I have the daily dispatch. So the daily dispatch. Dan Parry is a reformer. His achievements are tangible. That is Baumia. And then I was sacked as. What do you say? I was sacked as deputy minority leader
while
out of Ghana, NDC MP. Then you have also on the front page NPP candidate for Adentan, Miss, and there's a problem with the Miss Akosia Menu embarks on another road project. Then 2 incumbent women MPs battle for Okaikwe North seat in Greater Accra. And so I was at yesterday. I was
in Okaikwe Central.
Yes. So
with Dr. Babmia. This Lily went to
this particular constituency the last time.
Yesterday I was at Okaikwe Central with Baba Sadiq and Patrick Yabuama, who wasn't there, but he sent a representative.
So the election is getting heated.
Yes, 36 days more.
Yes.
Mutala.
Yesterday when I was watching the reactions, the comments, it's very interesting how people are so much interested in elections related activities. And that is why you get told in your face that Charlie,
yes. Okay, we'll do last 2. The weekend crusading guide, the new weekend crusading guide. Rampaging Forestry Commission tags kill 1. Efri Yakoso joins Baumia to campaign in Ashanti region. Alan unveils plan to transform Accra into top Africa city by 2030. Akwatia residents fight district assembly over extortion and harassment. Danger looms at Nyamfoku Ekufu over planned funeral of late Nana Nyamfeku Nyeku. I hope I got that right. If I didn't, please forgive me. Stop asking questions. Debate Dr. Baumia. This is according to the spokesperson for the running mate of the NPP, Matthew Poku Prempeh, to John Dramani Mahama. Tet for tat.
Yes, they shouldn't worry because I'm just on 7 December, Ghanaians will answer the questions for them.
Simple. Yes. Finally, the Daily Searchlight.
So the Daily Searchlight, NC hot as concerned assembly members chase him over alleged evasion of donated items to MPP candidates. Quite interesting. Okay. Alan Sherman to shake Greater Accra while another Afrafranto mega victory walk on 2nd November. There's a suicide in the lower voter identified, also on the front page of the Daily Searchlight. Alan Sherman chills Supreme Court, Parliament. Okay, and that is those are some of the stories on the front page of the Searchlight.
All right, that's it for the newspapers. Thank you very much for joining us, and Captain, thank you very much for doing it with me. Stay with me. After the break, my guests are here. We'll get into the conversation. This is GH Today. I am Serwaa Amihere.
GHOne OV van has been one of the best vans I've used personally in this country. It runs a system where we are able to run on Dante to be able to do our broadcast mixed well also from this van.
I've used this OB van for quite a number of big productions, i.e. 3 music awards, the late President Rollis' state funeral, Emmys Africa Awards, and a number of them.
My experience with the GHOne van has been the state of the art equipment they have. Personal experience is you can use it for both indoor and outdoor, all events, conferencing, like anything you need a van to work for you. GHOne provides it.
My experience with the van has been very good. Why? Because it has a number of facilities that I may not get in other vans. You know, the van has a very wide bench that can accommodate all my technical crew, ICCU, switcher, graphics, CG, and all of that. And then it also has a studio, a green room studio that comes with TriCaster. So if you want somebody to do commentary on a live event, you can put that presenter who's in that studio as well and get that running.
To give an experience to our audience who are also watching on TVs and online, work with an Exo technology system which makes your video mixing with Panasonic cameras, like a lot of other stuff in terms of content you need to get also for your live broadcasts.
I prefer the GHOne van to a lot of other vans I've used, or even doing my own setup on a tabletop setup, because on a production you see a number of people in the van, and so if you have a very small van, it means that it's going to be choked, and that will affect the creativity as well. The price has been discounted as well to accommodate varied budgets, and so no matter the budget you have, I understand you can have the track and do business with it.
It looks huge but very affordable. Cost is really affordable. My experience with this EMI awards last year, super excellent. Try it, call them, and I'm going to give you the best of price. Really affordable.
show you. Welcome back to the show. This is GH Today. I am Serwaa Amihere, and it's time for the breakfast review. I'm joined this morning by Wilberforce Osari. He's the he's a political editor, right, for Asante Radio. Is that correct? Wilberforce, good morning.
It is well.
And Nana Kwesi Bwete. I got it right this time. Yes. He is a private legal practitioner. Nana, good morning. You're welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Great. And very shortly, the producer of the show, Ibrahim Al-Hassan, who is also the head of our political desk, will be joining me. Actually, he's already here. Ibrahim, you are welcome to the show. Good morning. Good to see you too. I know that you are the producer of the show, and you haven't asked me to discuss this, but yesterday we were in Okaikwe Central. Yes. And I just want us to quickly talk about that constituency and the chances of the candidates there. Yeah. I'm sure you were a political editor. You were a lover of politics and a student of politics. You know. I'll start with you, Nana Kwesi. Who do you think is likely to win that seat?
I don't know who are contesting.
Don't worry, I'm here to give you all the information. There's Baba Sadiq, and then there's Patrick Yabuama.
It's a difficult one, I'll tell you honestly.
Is it?
Patrick Yabuama is my very good friend. Okay. Very, very good friend. And he's my brother, literally. And he's the incumbent. Knowing him and knowing his contributions, especially to Parliament, he's the chairman of the Finance Committee as well in Parliament. And he's a fine legal brain. I think that he serves them well. And if they don't have a good reason to change him, they might not. Except that if a wind of change blows generally and it affects him, it might not be for the sake of his competence or otherwise.
Really? Mm-hmm. That's not an answer. That's a very political answer, but it's okay. I'll take it. It's like you asking me something about IB. You don't expect me to give you any correct answer, but it's fine. Yeah, I'll take it.
But I've answered, sir.
Okay. Wilberforce.
Well, I think Patrick is an institution in that constituency.
Is he?
Yes, and he has been the MP for this is probably his
in 2012.
Yeah, so 2012, 2016,
so 12 years.
2020, 2024. So it just tells you that he's been there for
3 terms.
Yes, and he's vying for his 4th term.
Yeah.
I want to believe that he probably is going to be 4th time lucky, but after his 4th term, he has to be looking at probably a successor. Because most of if you look at Obi Amwa, Obi Amwa has been in his constituency for some time, but you can clearly see that as an astute politician as he is, he planned his succession and has executed it, if you ask me.
Oh, yes.
So I'm thinking that he will succeed in the 4th attempt, sadly against sad for the other guy you mentioned, Baba Sadiq. But in the next election, he probably will have to use the next 4 years he'll be in Parliament to plan his succession. Unless he intends to stay. If he intends to stay, then he has other things to do to make sure that he will become the Mugabe of Okaikwe Central. Yeah. But Okaikwe, is it Okaikwe North?
The women.
That's
Lukia and then Teresa.
Yeah,
and then the other one. So that's Okaikwe.
There's Okaikwe South as well.
Yes.
That's Akwa Numa and then the GHOne.
Now I'm talking about the one that the MP from.
That's Okaikwe North.
Okaikwe North.
Lukia and then
that's the one I'm talking about. That is. Have you been there already?
Yes,
we were there last week.
Okay.
Lily was there.
That must be an interesting.
It's very, very interesting.
Very interesting. It's one of the seats that everyone will be looking out for, right?
That's true.
Anyway, Ibrahim, we were there yesterday.
We were there yesterday, and it was quite exciting. To be honest with you, it was a great show, right? The vibes from both parties was great. The fact that we are even talking about this constituency is kudos to Baba Sadiq. Otherwise, everybody will have known that this is in the bag for Patrick Yabuama, right? Because this is a cosmopolitan constituency. Their needs are just like the needs of everybody here in Accra, right? And so you heard them talk about the basic things like school fees, unemployment. I think Greater Accra, the challenges of every constituency at the top will be unemployment. Because generally, the central government will undertake some road projects here and there because it is the city that houses the seat of government, right? But when it comes to the tangibles relative to job creation, it's the headache for all the MPs. So you heard people talk about people being taught how to make soap making and what have you, those basic skills. Now that's what almost every MP is doing. Just if a group of people who are ready to learn hairdressing, send them there, sewing, send them there, beads making, send those basic things, because we are unable to create the sustainable jobs anymore. The city is choked. Even central government is grappling and struggling today with unemployment. How much more a common MP? What can you do? So yes, the dynamics are quite interesting. I will wait to see how much of a challenge Sadiq poses. That's my interest. I want to see how much of a challenge he poses, because this is first time asking. Yes, he's got the youth radiating around him. Would that translate into vote on election day? December 7th, we will look out. Like I said yesterday, by 8 p.m., we will know almost all the parliamentary seats. By 8 p.m., you know whether you are winning or you are losing.
Anyway, so Okaikwe Central is one of the constituencies that will be watching very keenly, even though I know most of you don't want to say what we all know is going to happen. But
so why you know what's going to happen?
Oh.
Please tell us.
Are we not all political watchers and students of politics?
We are.
But I wish Sadiq the very best. I'm like you. Patrick is not my friend, but Sadiq is my friend. And so I also wish Sadiq the very best. Yeah.
But you say you know the obvious, so tell us.
Oh, I don't. I'm just like you. Yes, exactly. But I wish Sadiq the best, you know. I wish Sadiq wins the seat. Let's
Patrick would not be happy with you, you know that, right?
You know, I'll tell you the story.
I know the story.
Oh, but I mean, I have nothing against Patrick, but as my friend, I wish my friend the very best.
And especially when he is not your friend.
Exactly, especially when he's not. But it doesn't matter, though. It doesn't matter. I am in the habit of endorsing my friends. Like Edem Agbana is my friend. I wish that he wins. Sam George is my friend. I wish that he wins.
Name 3 NDC candidates.
It doesn't matter. They are my friends. Let's balance it. The NPP, Sticker is my friend.
Exactly.
I hope that Sticker wins as well. Who else in the NPP?
You're your friend?
No, he's not.
Okay.
For the sake of the show, I pray that what's the former deputy sports minister's name?
Pius.
Yes, we have a good relationship with Pius.
Yes.
I pray that he wins, even though I haven't been very happy with his utterances, but
he's a friend of the show.
Yes, and he's my friend too. We are cool. I pray that he wins also. So I have friends on both sides. Also, Felix Kwachiofosu, I think he's the perfect candidate for his constituency, and I really pray that he wins.
Felix is literally my brother.
Yes, Felix is a great guy, and I think he has to be in parliament.
And Kennedy was saying Akutu must win again.
Yes, of course.
I'm just surprised about the use.
That's my brother.
I'm surprised about the use of your word perfect.
Oh yeah, you know people who can do the job, and Parliament as it is, we are diverting the conversation, but anyway, my boss is here. Look, we have all sat on this show and talked about the fact that as we go into the next election, there are some people who are going to be stepping back, and we may not have the kind of experienced hands that we need in our parliament. And so if we see people who can do the job, why not encourage them? And all the names that I mentioned, Felix. I only used perfect for one person, and I mentioned Felix's name because I know that Felix is
and I also know.
And he is the perfect person for that constituency. I'm saying it again. If you think someone else is perfect, you to say it.
Who is he contesting?
Parliament.
I don't even know who he's contesting.
I think the incumbent. I don't know. Did Donko win to represent? I think Donko
wins.
Yes,
the incumbent
is Donko.
The incumbent MP is not that.
They say one man's meat is one man's poison.
Oh yes,
it's another man's poison.
Oh,
so I am not against anybody. I'm saying what I like.
But
it might not be perfect for
but this one we're expressing opinion.
Precisely. So it's that's it for the endorsements, by the way, so far. When I remember other ones,
more.
we certainly thank you, my boss.
This is your place to be.
Thank you, my boss. It is my show. Anyway, let's move on. I want us to start with the very latest one. We'll talk about the Supreme Court. We will talk about also what's happening in Boko, which is very heartbreaking and sad. But I want us to start with, it's 36 days to election 2024. I know all of us here are going to vote. You should vote as well. But you know, last days they say are dangerous. And we have heard GHOne Mahama make certain statements that certain people find insulting, even though I have said on the show that I don't find it insulting, but we are all not the same, right? And it's my opinion. I don't think it's insulting in the way that people are trying to make it look and sound that GHOne Mahama has insulted Dr. Bawumia. If we are being truthful, but then again, it's my opinion.
Yeah.
And for those of you who may not have heard the former president speak, he attributed the comments to a statement that was made in America in 1992. And these are things that they say all the time. But then again, this is Ghana, right? Let's listen to the former president very quickly.
And what they call necessary rhymes. And that one, you just have to learn it by heart. Even when you're sleeping, you should be able to repeat it. So if you remember, ba ba black sheep, have you any wool? Then we had Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. Those necessary rhymes. I woke up this morning and I saw 50 questions to me. It looks like our vice president has just learned those things in the 50 questions the way we used to learn Baba, Black Sheep, Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall. Because I asked you 5 simple questions on the economy. That's all. Simple questions that Ghanaians want you to answer. You go and respond with how many compost plants, did you build, how many this did you build. That is not what the issue is in Ghana today. Let me take you down memory lane. In 1992, there was an election in America. It was between Bill Clinton and George Bush Sr. At that time, the American economy was in recession, the way the Ghanaian economy is in crisis today. And people were talking about immigration, talking about all kinds of useless things. You know what the Clinton people said? It is about the economy, stupid. Today, I'm repeating those words. This election is about the economy, stupid. It's not about all those other useless things about who built how many compost plants. Answer the 5 simple questions. And you can't hide behind the debate. You don't need the debate to answer the 5 questions. When you ask Emisata 170 questions, you did not agree to go and debate for him to answer them. Ghanaians are asking you 5 simple questions. Just answer them. Akufo-Addo too, I've given him 2 questions. He should come and answer them. That's all Ghanaians are looking for. You have destroyed the economy. That is the truth. Even if you look at the 50 questions he asked me, he has skillfully avoided the economy. There's nothing about the economy in those 50 questions. And that's why I gave you the 5th question. Why are you running away from economy? Because you were brought in to fix the economy. The economy is in a terrible state. Just answer the 5 questions I have asked you on behalf of the people of Ghana. Simple.
Right, so that is former President John Dramani Mahama there. Let's listen to a rebuttal by Dr. Bawumia. Okay, that's not ready, but you have all heard it. The former president there asked Dr. Bawumia 5 questions, and I want to quickly go through them for those who may have missed the questions, or if you have. Okay, so I have it here. So he says, John Dramani Mahama posed 5 questions to Dr. Bawumia. 1, why has the cedi deteriorated in value from 4 Ghana cedi to $1 in 2016 to almost 17 cedis to $1 today? 2, Why has Ghana's public debt risen from 120 billion in 2016 to 763 billion in 2024 with you as EMT chair? 3. Why did inflation rise to its highest in the Fourth Republic of 54% under your watch as EMT chair? 4. Why did you borrow more than 42 billion cedis from the Bank of Ghana and cause the central bank to post its heaviest loss of 60 billion cedis? And finally, why have you run away from giving lectures on the economy? Why has the word economy disappeared from your lexicon? Well, so these are 5 questions that Dr. Bawumia, John Mahama posed to Dr. Bawumia. Dr. Bawumia has in turn asked him some questions about what? 50 questions. And it is that 50 questions that made John Dramani Mahama say the things that he said in the video that you just watched. Ibrahim, I'll start with you on this one.
Yes, it's quite interesting. To be honest, none of them is expecting answers from
the other.
No, they are not. You know the targets of these questions? We are. The voters, Ghanaians are the targets. What John Mahama did was to draw attention to the fact that what Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is known for and reason for which he was hailed and celebrated, those celebrations, those expectations have not materialized relative to the performance of the economy. So all John Mahama sought to do was to draw attention to the fact that when it comes to the economy, the NPP administration has not done so well. The head of the economic management team, whose responsibility it is or it was to ensure that the economy thrives, has failed in doing that. And of course, this is not the first time we've heard anybody from NDC make those assertions, right? Now, so obviously, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is not going to answer these questions. He asked of Emisata 175 questions. There were never answers to those questions because Dr. Bawumia knew that there was never going to be any answer to any of those questions. So what they do is to throw this out there. Now, we are talking about it, are we not? When you go to social media, everybody's discussing it, are they not? When you enter public transport, people are talking about it. Now, the answers will come from Ghanaians, and those answers will manifest on December 7th. Now, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia equally knows that the 50 questions he asked, there's no way John Dramani Mahama will answer them. But he's been able to draw attention to what he believes are the failures of the Mahama administration when he was in charge. And that's all, in political communication, that's all the two are seeking to do. Again, we are the home stretch relative to campaigning to December 7th. And so expect some of these things. See, so Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has equally responded to the clip you just saw from John Dramani Mahama.
And saying that, we'll play that very shortly.
Yes, Mahama knows he's losing, and that's how come he's resorted to insult. And that he will not respond in the equal measure. But what he knows is that he's winning the elections, right? And he said that to the excitement of his base and his supporters. Now, if you take that out, yesterday John Dramani Mahama had another opportunity to also speak when he delivered his lecture at the Teachers' Forum. He related to these same matters again, right? So it's to keep the conversation going. Talk about the bread and butter issues. Talk about why NDC thinks that it deserves to return. Why MPP feels it has to break the 8. So these are the conversations. Yes, but talking about insult or no insult, I think context is everything, right? And settings are very important when it comes to use of words and the language. See, in America, when somebody says, oh, don't be silly, it's not an insult. And nobody will take that to be an insult. But it depends on how you say it and even the tone for which you use. Now, stupid. In America, a slang, street language, slangs, right? Street language. And they even use words, forms of those words that down here we can say are insult, right? Good. So the counter argument will be that, okay, you are not speaking to Americans, are you? You are speaking to Ghanaians. how Ghanaians perceive the use of that word. Right? So in political communication, could you have done without it? Or you feel that was what you needed to communicate the point you wanted to make? The verdict is out there. Right? This is not the first. In fact, the bit about I will not elevate Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia
to my level.
Okay, so Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's boss came in, and that's Nana Akufo-Addo, to support his vice, and said that, oh, which level? The one-term level. If it's a one-term president level, then Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia doesn't want to join that level. Yesterday, John Dramani Mahama also responded. He said, oh, yes, you can say I'm one-term president level, no problem, but I'm not a clearing agent. You see how the conversations are going. You see how the three, because now it's become trio. Professor Nanaji Opoku-Agyeman has chosen and decided not to jump into this fray. And I think for the past 1 week, NAPU has equally not joined that fray. So now it's just the trio. Now Dr. Akufo-Addo, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, and then John Dramani Mahama. See, it's exciting to their base. Don't take that away from them. Such political comments are exciting to the base of these political parties and these politicians. Such political comment will inure to their benefit by gingering and energizing their base. The question you should be asking yourself is, how are the floating voters taking these comments, these jabs, and these back and forth? Because somebody will argue that they've actually decided not to talk about the bread and butter issues. Somebody can argue that. Another person can say that no, it's the bread and butter issues that they are talking about, issues of the economy, issues of this, issues of digitalization, issues of that. That's basically it. But one thing is for certain. So finally, this election, 1 year ago, it was about the economy. 6 months ago, it was about the economy. As we speak today, it's about the economy. No two ways about that. And I'm not sure this is lost on anybody. The MPP knows that breaking the 8 or failing to break the 8 will depend on how people feel in their pocket. The party knows. And the strategists in the party are devising mechanisms to ensure that that is addressed. When you hear the finance minister talk about the fact that the economy is bouncing back, when you hear the conversation around the IMF facility and how helpful it's been, when you hear the conversation about the performance of the CD or otherwise, that's basically what it's about. And that's why the party will have to have a lid on those conversations. How do people feel? How can the city be strengthened? Right? The people who are affected by DDEP, how can they be pacified? The people whose funds are still locked up, how can they be attended to? These are questions that I'm sure both political parties are seeking to address. The opposition want to take advantage, and that's what John Mahama is doing. Your pain is something that the opposition will want to ride on and get your vote. The governing party will want to appease you as much as possible to ensure that that pain doesn't lead you into voting against the governing party. And that's what these politicians are doing, Serwaa.
Nana?
Yes, Serwaa. If you're a student, which of the two would you want to have as a lecturer? The one who will give you 5 questions or 50 questions? And do you want the 50 to be multiple choice?